Fire extinguishers. They are throughout your facility. Obviously, you know what they're for, but do you know how to use one in case of a fire? After all, a fire can have devastating effects to your guest and the property. That's why fire safety and prevention is so important. The first rule to remember is, life is more important than property. With that being said, if there is any risk to you or others, don't try to extinguish the fire. Get out. But if the fire is small enough or has just started, you can use a fire extinguisher to put the fire out before people are in danger. Next, always activate the nearest alarm, even if you're using the extinguisher. That way, evacuations can already be in process if the fire does get out of hand. Using an extinguisher is a simple process. Remember the term pass. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side. Pulling the pin basically unlocks the extinguisher, allowing it to be used. Aim the nozzle at the base of the fire. Normally, you want to stand about 10 feet away from the fire because if you release the extinguishing agent too close to the fire, you could spread the fire. Squeezing the handle will spray the extinguishing agent. Sweeping from side to side will help put the fire out quickly. Pass. It's important to understand the 4 stages of fires in order to assist in your understanding of how you can help in an emergency. Incipient. This is the ignition stage in which a fire begins. Growth. In this stage, a fire begins to burn freely. Fully developed. The highest stage of a fire before it begins to die out. Decay. This is a stage at which a fire begins to decrease because the fuel has been consumed. It is critical that fires be extinguished at the earliest possible stage in order to prevent injury and property damage. If a fire has advanced beyond your ability to extinguish it, activate the closest alarm pull station and begin evacuation procedures. Remember, always pull the alarm and call the fire department. Small fire can quickly get out of hand, and if it does, fire extinguishers won't help. You need fire professionals, and if you waste time by not calling them until the fire gets out of hand, it may be too late. They would much rather respond to a fire that has been extinguished than to arrive when the fire is out of control. Extinguishers should be inspected monthly to make sure they are in the proper place, inspected to make sure they aren't damaged, and on those extinguishers with pressure gauges to make sure the gauge is in the green, indicating the proper pressure. If the pressure is too high or too low, it should be reported to management so it can be serviced. Every extinguisher should be inspected monthly, and this inspection report should be maintained in your files as documentation that the inspection was completed. Some extinguishers may have a space on the service tag to indicate this monthly inspection. Once a year, your fire extinguisher must be inspected and serviced by an authorized fire extinguisher service. They normally recharge the extinguisher, inspect it, and place an annual service tag on the unit indicating that it has been serviced. It's important that everyone be properly trained in the use of fire extinguishers. In an emergency, you need to know how to operate the equipment to extinguish the fire. If you don't know how to operate a fire extinguisher, be sure to ask your supervisor. Many people have never used a fire extinguisher, so ask if you're not sure. Fire extinguishers are a very necessary part of emergency equipment, and it's up to you to know how to properly use those extinguishers if the need rises. If you're not sure how to use an extinguisher or you don't know where they're located, ask questions. Remember, the best ways to prevent loss of life or property damage in an emergency are preparedness and planning. Be ready and know what to do in advance. That way, if a fire or other emergency does strike, you'll be ready.